Hey, fellas, one thing we haven't talked about the coaching news right now. James Franklin going to Virginia Tech, and the people in Happy Valley are going woohoo because instead of paying 49 million, they're only paying 9 million because his contract with the Hokies is 40 million. So everybody wins all across the board. And then Lane Kiffin, what are you doing? Reports that his family both took trips to Florida and LSU while he is sitting pretty right now, possible for a possible playoff berth. What a mess.
Yeah, they got a chance to win the SEC, get into the top four, get a top four seed, and he's entertaining other jobs.
Yeah.
This alleged going to LSU and taking a visit, it seems crazy to me because this seems to be Lane wants to be in the headlines because he could shut this thing down instantly by saying, I won't be here next year, or by saying, I will be here, and then it's all done. I wonder, could he be the next Bill Frieder?
No, I mean it could be. But what a mess this is right now. You're in a spot right now that Ole Miss hasn't been in decades, right? I
60
mean,
years or something?
yeah. I mean, it's like you said, you could just shut this thing down. And listen, we know how these things go. You can still have your third party conversations with your agent and still have all these things being done on the side. And then as soon as your season's over, go from there. The thing is, again, the way the schedule is right now, you've got to make some noise. You got to have your guy in place. That's why it's big for Virginia Tech to name Franklin now, because he can begin to work on not only the recruits, keep the guys there for Virginia Tech, but possibly pull in some recruits you had at Penn State to get them to follow you to where you are, because the signing date is just in a couple of weeks.
Yep, exactly. That's what it's doing. And he had a bunch of those guys on Virginia Tech's campus last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just really unfortunate the way the transfer portal is. I would have loved to have seen them do that more towards the end of the spring, where it's kind of the end of the school year. Why would that count? But and they would also have an opportunity. Kids would be able to come out of spring ball and know where they're at. But my logic doesn't carry.
Yeah. How about the SEC schedule this week? This is going to go away. The SEC has only played an 8-game conference schedule, which lends to some real cupcake games here in the next to final week of the season. But next year they're going to go to 9 games. So some of these crazy late November contests are going to go away.
Yeah, I mean that Texas A&M against the 1-10 Samford, or Georgia against the 1-9 Charlotte, or Alabama taking on Eastern Illinois, our alma mater, Larry.
Go Big Blue.
Yeah, I mean, those would be the biggest upsets in college football history, right?
Yeah, the really interesting thing to me is everybody's right now on X arguing the merits of the SEC versus the Big Ten. And the biggest drawback of having these conferences that are too big for all the good teams to play each other is now it's not who you beat, but it's who you lost to admirably that seems to be more important. Yeah. And Illinois is penalized for being destroyed by 53, and other teams are like, yeah, but we lost by 2 points to a top 12 team. And so again, somehow that not playing each other's best teams is a real challenge for this CFP, the football playoffs.
Yeah, and a lot of conversations coming in the next 2 weeks here as they kind of wrap things up and everyone trying to get some style points for the committee. Let's get to our picks for this week. We all were, I think, pretty even last week. I think Mike picked, I think there was one game that I think he picked Iowa and Brad and I picked USC. So we get dibs for the week. But okay, Bradley, you start us off. Illinois, Wisconsin.
I like the Illini in this one. I think they're going to take care of business over the Badgers. Badgers offense is not great.
Yes, I agree. Lance Allen pretty much said if Illinois scores that second touchdown, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Badgers.
No question about that. I'll take Illinois as well in this one. Like them on the road, get that win, make that record, that history in November. The other big game in the Big Ten, this one has CFP implications, USC and Oregon.
Yeah, USC's playing well. They've done a good job, but I like the Ducks at home. I think this is a game where they win. I don't think they cover, but I think they win this game.
Yes, I think the Ducks are itching to prove that they have a good win on their schedule. And if they lose this game, this could knock them behind a bunch of the SEC teams with similar records. So I think they have to win this.
And
Yeah.
USC perhaps.
Yeah, same
Right?
for USC. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
down to
Yeah.
No, I
three.
mean, Oregon might be probably behind USC if they lose this game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Exactly.
it depends when head to head matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I'll take-
matter. Play Notre Dame.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
right. I'll take Oregon as well on that one. We go now to the SEC. Missouri and Oklahoma, the Sooners, suddenly in the CFP conversation.
Yeah, I tell you what, Missouri's a good team. They are a scary team. I think they have the ability to pull this upset, but I don't think they do it this week. I think Oklahoma gets it done against Mizzou.
I agree. I think Missouri is very similar to Illinois. They're really good, but there's a class of teams above them that can beat them.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the upset. Missouri Tigers. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Fellas, pick your upset of the weekend. We got about 30 seconds left. Go.
Florida is going to pull off the upset over Tennessee. That's my upset pick.
Wow.
In honor of James Franklin, Virginia Tech is going to put Miami out of the CFP.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going to take Kentucky over Vanderbilt and Nashville. How about that? There you go. Put a stamp on it, baby. It's going to happen. Hey, I appreciate our guests coming by. Our friend Lance Allen, my man, Dion Thomas. Appreciate you guys as well. Enjoy the games this weekend. It's a doubleheader on Saturday. The men play at 2 o'clock against Long Island. The football team is at Wisconsin, 6:30 at night. And then the women, by the way, they're at Florida State trying to get their 5th win of the season against the Seminoles. All right, for Brad and Mike, I'm Larry. Enjoy the games. We'll see you next time. ILL.
I.
And I.